mute is off, and we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and hello, welcome to G3. How are you? So glad you're here. Today is September 10th, 2015. We're G3. We're the ladies who talk tech and argue a little bit and have opinions and deal with it, okay? This is our 55th episode.
Whoa.
Again, welcome. And my name is Tina Chase Gillmor. Okay, another little piece of housekeeping. If you are with us live today as we're recording, please join us in our chat room, which is chat.center/G3. When I get it together, I'll actually put the graphic up for that. So let's see. There it is. Okay. All right. So today, I'd like to introduce you to my lovely co-hosts. Hello, lovely co-hosts.
Hello, lovely Tina.
Up in my upper left is the lovely Rebecca Woodcock from San Francisco, California. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
Okay, my obligatory, how's the weather where you are on your side of the city today?
Sweltering.
Sweltering. You know what? We've got some relief here at the coast. I'm
Actually, it's
happy
not
to
as bad
say.
as it's not as bad as it was yesterday, but
Yes.
it's nice and toasty. So.
Well, yeah, and for those of you who don't know, we never get hot in San Francisco, and we've been hot,
Very.
like hot. So
Really
it's
hot.
it's been interesting. I have the fan on here in the studio as we speak. Up in my upper right is Hallie Sue Tucker. Hi, Hallie.
Hey, can you guys hear me? I don't think I even did audio check.
We
here.
didn't do audio check. We just slammed into the show, but I can hear you just fine.
Okay, glad you can hear me.
And I love the blue shades matching with the blue
I was
shirt.
kind of in a
matching with the
blue
beads.
mood, you know.
Blue mood? Does that mean
no,
you're
not
down?
blue, but just I want like a little more darker color or something today. I mean, I guess it's pretty popping, isn't it? But
Are you trying to bring on the fall or something?
yeah, I didn't want just everything I've been wearing is like white because it's been so friggin' hot too. It's been very, very hot here. But now you are about to be in the middle of a gigantic thunderstorm. So if I fall out, don't be surprised because it's going to go to 57 tonight. It's 4:30 here. And it was 93 yesterday. So
You guys are bitching over nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's Francine Hardaway. Tell us what we're bitching over nothing about, Francine.
You're bitching over nothing. It's 106 in Phoenix.
Nice.
But you have air conditioning.
Yes, we do because we're smart.
See, that's the difference. Us in San Francisco, we do not have the air conditioning.
Buy an air conditioner.
I got
never
a fan.
need it.
we only have it upstairs, like in bedrooms. We have in my first floor. I don't have it. It's only in the bedroom to sleep well. You know?
Hello, Mary Hodder.
Hey,
Okay,
so it's 97 here, and in the last couple of days it's been like 102, 103 till like 7 o'clock at night.
Good
Do
grief.
you have air conditioning?
No, we don't. But inside the house, so we did this thing. We put in radiant heat shield, which like NASA developed, and it's
Of
in
course.
the rafters, and so it's like
Of
like
course.
this. So when the sun hits it, you know, it comes down and it bounces back out. So it's only 80 inside. So we're happy.
No, that's actually a
Okay,
really
only
good
80
ROI.
inside is still too hot for me. That's all. It's
Well, and
just,
then you turn the fan on, and it's fine.
yeah,
you know.
I got the fan on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Global warming.
Global, yeah. Welcome,
Just saying.
welcome to
explain
global
this to
warming.
somebody.
Thank you.
So somebody
So-
in San Francisco
somebody
who just
fix
moved
it.
there asked me yesterday about this, you know, is this normal? And I said, yes. All my life, San Francisco and the Bay Area has these little hot spells, right? Where you get 90, 100 degrees for a day. The difference is now we're getting them for 3 days.
Yeah.
That's the climate change.
You
It's
know-
No,
not-
I remember
You know what?
as a kid, there'd be snaps for, 5 days, but it usually didn't last longer than 5 days. But no,
But the one day you
I
have
remember
1 day
that.
of heavy heat, right? 1 day of 100 degrees, and
Yeah.
the other days would
Yeah.
be like a ramp up and a ramp down. Now it's like 3.5, 4 days in a row of 100 degrees, it's like, okay, that's new. That didn't even happen.
I actually sort of agree with that, and at least for the time that I've lived in San Francisco or in the Bay Area for 13 years, it does kind of seem like that. It'll pop up.
Yeah.
It will have a scorcher day, maybe 2. But 3 or 4, I just don't really remember it. So
Well, part of that is it's
interesting.
completely stopped raining.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
when I lived in Half Moon Bay, it rained for months on end. It never rains there anymore. It's like all beach traffic.
Well,
Okay, I've got a couple of quick things to talk about. One that's really super important. Okay,
you mean the weather? Isn't the conversation?
These. Have you ever had?
What are they?
They're kiwi berries.
No, I've never had
Did I didn't show them properly, did I? Did I show them or
Now,
not?
that's good now.
Kiwi, yeah, I was showing it on the wrong screen. Kiwi berries. So I got them in my little organic box that gets magically brought to my house, and so they're like almost the size of an olive, or they are the size of the olive.
Are they
So
right?
those
They're
drought-sized
no
kiwis?
fuzz on them, and watch, look at this.
It's like a kiwi?
It's like a kiwi.
Ah.
It's like a kiwi.
It's like
Are
a
they
baby
ripe?
kiwi.
They're right. And
Is it like a
soft.
different kind of kiwi, like an heirloom kiwi that's little, like a cucumber that's little?
Oh,
maybe it's a
for
drought
heaven's
size
sake, Mary, I don't know.
A bonsai kiwi.
bonsai drought.
I don't know
She-
different kiwi types. I mean, for God's sake, they're good
Hey,
though.
wait, she's like
And you
an
can just
agri
pop it
girl.
in your
She knows
mouth.
this.
Little kiwi poppers. I recommend them.
Kiwi
Go find them.
poppers. There's a show title.
Kiwi
Do
poppers.
they taste the same, or are they sweeter?
We've named
or-
our show. No problem.
So you put it in cheese and deep fry it, and it's like you serve it in Ohio.
Or on a
just-
stick.
Ohio.
Isn't that where poppers come from, like in the Midwest with cheese and deep frying something or other?
Truthfully, I thought poppers were a drug.
Okay. Oh my gosh, we've gone down the
Apple.
wrong path. Okay.
Apple.
Two things right now.
I
So
got
does-
out of a client meeting.
What did
to
Trump
do
say about Carly Fiorina?
Oh, he says, like, as if he
Nice
were
things
so
of her.
beautiful. He's like, look at her. What a face, right? Like, Trump? Did I miss something? Like, he's
Wait,
telling
what?
people, pot calling the kettle black, that they should be handsome or lovely, and he's so great?
Well,
I don't
aside
think so.
Here's the
Aside
thing
from
about
he's-
Trump is words come out of his mouth like gumballs.
Yeah.
I don't think he even
Or
knows
kiwi
what
poppers.
he's saying.
Like
Kiwi
puffs.
berries. Right.
Yeah.
Watch Colbert 2 nights ago with the Oreos and the Trump, and the whole thing about
Trump.
how he edited together a bunch of things that Donald Trump said, which make zero sense.
Right.
They're all
Just,
him talking about himself and making shit up that is completely irrational. And then Donald Trump said he's never eating another Oreo again
Because
the
they're
Oreo
making
plant
them in
closed
Mexico,
Chicago.
right?
They're taking him to Mexico.
Is that
and so
why?
Colbert proceeded to stuff himself with 2 boxes of Oreos, all while commentating on Donald Trump. It was freaking hilarious.
it was great.
You guys have got to watch the new show. It's really
He
good.
sort of
Only-
ended it
the
with all
only-
the Oreos sort of all over him, just falling
Yes.
everywhere. It was fantastic.
It was
However,
really good.
in
Good
reality,
he could ever do is that he may, if he ever got elected, he certainly would be a great antidote to Putin, who is the other completely crazy leader on this earth. And only Putin deserves Trump. You know?
Let me tell you something about Putin that I heard yesterday on Fresh Air. Terry Gross was interviewing, oh darn it, somebody who I'll get you guys the link and I'll stick it on our G3 stuff all over and I'll stick it in the chat. But basically, this historian was looking at some stuff that Putin has resurrected from the 30s. There was an agreement between the Soviets and the Nazis in the 30s about how they would perceive Jews and how they would perceive Eastern Europe, that it was for conquest,
Oh,
and that
good
they're going
God.
to divide it up.
You've got
And
to
it
be kidding
is-
me.
And Putin has resurrected this.
Oh.
It is
because
I don't even think Donald Trump is in the ballpark with Putin.
Oh,
I
man.
mean,
Happy
that is
New Year,
even-
by the way. Okay, that's
Donald Trump's
great.
worried
Don't
about
think.
Oreos. Putin's
Anyway.
like already dividing up Eastern Europe based on 1930 documents with the Nazis. Like seriously, we're in deep trouble.
Oh,
Why
It
are we
is
even giving
bad.
this guy airtime? I don't even want to like give him any airtime. Like, why are we talking about him?
You
I'm just
mean
wondering.
Trump
or
or Putin?
Yes.
Both.
Both.
Well, I mean,
The problem is that Putin is
at
actually
least
doing
Putin is
stuff.
actually relevant.
Hey, I want to ask one quick thing. Was this interview, it was William Broder with a new book called Red Notice? Mary?
I'm pulling it up right now. I'll tell you in
I
just
think
a second.
that's what it was. 'Cause
Stick it in our
I'll put
G3
it in the
page
chat.
on Facebook.
You
Oh yes,
should
by the
totally
way,
listen. It's a
we need a
great-
graphic for that.
It's a great interview and it's very interesting and it's a lot of kind of historical analysis that we don't usually get in the American press. Totally recommend it. It's brilliant.
And
So
Sounds
it was,
great. Thanks for the recommendation. I am interested in that. So I hope it lands on our page so we can all read
yeah, I
it.
hope so too.
Okay, before we talk about the Apple event, which you know we're gonna do, right? You know we're gonna do that. Before we talk about the Apple event, let's talk about the presenters at the Apple event. How many women were there? Excuse
Two.
me.
2, right?
I think
Two.
2 from Apple, and maybe
And
one
then the guilt.
or 2.
And then the face. The face
Oh,
that the guy
yes.
changed to put the smile on it, the Adobe face.
Okay, so
That counts as a woman.
So there was a little demo of, I believe maybe it was the iPad Pro, and using the stylus, which is called the Apple Pencil. And the demonstrator proceeded to make the woman have more of a smile. She had pretty much no smile, but have a smile. So is this much ado about nothing? A lot of people are
Yes.
upset about this.
Yes.
What, that
It's-
nice girls have to look nice because nice is what girls do?
No, it's totally much ado about nothing. There's so many bigger issues, A, that have to do with women, and B, that have to do with Apple. You know, that's nothing. That was just a blip. It wasn't even Apple.
Do we
It was
have to
Adobe.
be so careful in our demos that we choose a photo that's not going to offend anybody, and
No.
do something that's not going to offend
That
anybody? and-
actually, I think that's a very interesting point that more and more people are saying in social media. You can't even be funny. Nobody can even write one funny thing without offending everybody. So you can't say one thing that's not going to be like, I call it the Green Lives Matter movement. It's like everything's politically incorrect the minute you open your mouth.
Well, and that's
Because-
why I think it's much ado about nothing. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think in a 2-hour presentation, much of which was totally boring, you know, the tweet stream
Uh-oh.
goes crazy about just about anything. So they went crazy about this. It kept them engaged for about 5 minutes.
Okay,
Hey, they
but
should
what
go
about
crazy.
what about the fact that there's not many women represented by Apple on the stage, or representing Apple on the stage? Are
I
we
didn't
boring you,
feel that
Francine?
way.
So what's new? No, I mean, it's like, so what's new? There aren't that many women in Apple. It would be worse if they scraped down to wherever the women are to bring up women who weren't good speakers just because they were women. I'm not a fan of doing that type of stuff.
Do you all
I want
agree?
Apple to hire more women
Ah.
and promote more women.
Yeah, I would say we did learn one thing, which is now it's almost exactly a year when the presentations of how many people are female in the engineering staffs and in the companies that are the big tech companies, and there's been little to no change. So that's kind of a drag, but
So since we've been sort of like, really, really thinking about this and pointing this out, I think it's been happening for a long time in the women's circles, but in the more general circles now, we've been pointing it out, and there's little change, and we're seeing little change
very little.
on stage.
And you know who did a podcast along these lines was Kara Swisher. Did you guys hear the Mark Andreessen interview? And interestingly, when she asked him about the Ellen Pao trial, he's like, I'm going to take a pass on that.
Yeah, he
Which
right,
was like, excuse
exactly.
me? What the fuck? And also, he's like leisurely saying, I'm going to take a pass after he's been, he talks like a maniac. I've never heard him talk like a person like this. And I'm thinking, is he nervous? Is he talking really fast? Or because he's trying to pretend if I talk really fast, people think I'm smart? It was the weirdest thing. Or are you all on drugs out there? What is the matter with that guy? He was talking really fast like this. He was like a cartoon character.
That's the way he talks. That is the way he talks.
I am so embarrassed.
But I think the reason why he said he took a pass, and I heard that, is because he knows all the principles involved.
So, hey,
so he's
like,
not going to say anything. But
big boy pants on and say something.
Not all at once.
And he's an investor, right? He's probably
course.
co-invested with a bunch of them. So
Right.
he's got it's not just that he's a counterpart. He's probably in bed with a number of them, right?
I know, but to my mind, that's exactly why he should have a reason to say something. And you know what? He's so special. It just annoyed me.
Yes.
I
who the
also
hell is
believe
this?
that it takes more than a year to solve these problems.
Yeah,
and we can sit here and flippantly say that nothing has changed.
Whoa. You're talking over each other.
Uh-oh. You have to be the police cop.
I am. I'm trying my very, very best here. As a
Who
matter
should
of fact,
be talking?
Hallie, I'm gonna wait. I think. Okay. Look. I have to get across the room to do something with the audio. Is what I have to do. That's why I'm hoeing and humming here. So
Okay.
Talk among yourselves.
what I'd like to do is I'd like to start the Apple Talk. And and who watched the event?
Every boring minute.
Every minute.
Okay. I just watched a clip, and I watched it way later because I don't care.
And you don't care.
Yeah,
Although,
and I read
Mary,
about it.
there is some supposedly some easy portability from Android to iPhone, and you're going to be doing that journey soon.
But I don't need to watch that ridiculous
No, you don't.
presentation in order to get an iPhone.
No, you don't. So, Rebecca and Francine, just for a minute here while I run across the room, can you give it what? Francine, you said it was boring. Why don't you start there?
It was all downhill after the Hermes bans. They started off with the Apple Watch, which was mysterious to me because they didn't even give any sales numbers for the Apple Watch. All they did was say, this watch is beautiful. And now we have more models of watch and we have more watch bands. And Walt Mossberg tweeted something that I thought was just brilliant, where he said, that this summarizes the state of technology that Apple, the world's leading technology company, is boasting about different colors of watch bands. Right. And it went from there into the Etch-a-Sketch, the biggest Etch-a-Sketch, and then from there into an Apple TV that had barely any updating.
It's not just the colors, it's the quality of the Hermes leather.
Oh, that's right. Oh, no,
right.
You don't understand, Mary, because you probably didn't see this part. It's that it loops around your hand twice.
Yeah, I saw the twice. I saw it on the Apple site because I went to look up the iPhones. And
Wow, you are all sounding like Apple haters these days.
I like the double wrap. I just don't think it's like worthy of a stage show. I mean, for God's sakes, really?
Right. I'm going to buy the double wrap, but it does not mean that I want this thing to start out that way and that I want that to be the high point of the presentation.
Right.
I would agree that starting out with the watch bands is kind of like, give us some meat first and then get to the, if you think this is sexy stuff or stylish stuff or whatever, then get to that later. But I was kind of confused by them starting with that. I don't mind that they threw it in there, but I think it should be a little more of a, and by the way.
I think Apple has hired too many retail people and they've become a fashion company instead of a technology company.
Exactly. I think that's true. Have you guys been lately to an Apple store? I had to go fix my MacBook and they did a good job. I appreciate what they did. But I was looking at as it's like a museum. You go to the store, and what's in the center? A big case that's like a jewelry case with glass with the watches in it. So you can pretty much tell what they're thinking. When you're in an Apple store, you see what's the biggest thing they're focusing on, and the things that used to be cool that I used to actually use or buy are all somehow pushed to the outsides of the Apple store. You're either in the middle if you matter, or all the little stuff runs off to the edges. So go see a store and that is a jewelry store mode to have
but
a
way
big
back in the
glass
beginning
case.
of iPods were jewelry, right? I mean, iPhones have always been jewelry. Okay, fine, as subtext, but really, that's what you lead with your annual giant launch thing is the double wrap gorgeous strap. Sure, I want one too, but that is ridiculous.
Rebecca,
Rebecca,
what did you find
in a fashion show.
What did you find redeeming about the Apple event, if anything?
Well, so I agree with Keith in the chat, actually. He says the new iPhone and the TV were the real highlights there. I mean, they're marginal highlights. I think what they're doing with the Apple TV is kind of interesting, and that's a little bit of a wow. Okay, they're going to create a developer platform, and basically they've redesigned that experience so that it's going to be another app environment, and you'll be able to, I assume, download more apps, and they're opening that up so that you can have this like you can customize the experience. I mean, I don't think they've done enough with Apple TV, and they realized it, and their lunch is being eaten by companies like Amazon and companies
everybody else.
And everybody else
Yeah.
launching products in the home that actually are customizable. And I think they're playing catch up, but it's a necessary catch up that they have to do. And they might actually create an ecosystem. That'll be interesting to see. I have no idea.
Is it okay here now for Apple? I mean, our friend Robert Scoble likes to say that Apple's doing absolutely nothing that makes him excited and go wild with, just
I mean,
like,
I'm not that excited
is
about.
it okay to not just iterate and not innovate or not invent right now?
It's fine,
Yes,
but
yeah,
you don't have to have an event that you live stream for 7,000 people and take 2 hours of everybody's time. Amazon has a really good robot right now, the Echo, and I don't even know if they had any event to launch the Echo.
Yeah,
they just put it on a limited distribution list for the beginning, and then they opened it up to everybody, and the Echo is unbelievable. I mean,
Well, Francine, but certainly that's not the Apple way. And so you're suggesting that Apple changed their ways of introducing their products, where they've always sort of made a big to-do about anything that they do.
That is totally Steve Jobs' legacy, that way of presenting. I find that really depressing. If they want to innovate on anything, I think they should stop doing it that way. I think it's haunted. It's like a horror movie to me to see the same that format. Like,
you mean it's the
they're
ghost
really
of
stuck.
Steve Jobs, is there?
It is kind of creepy, actually. Yeah,
It's creepy.
It is a little
It's
bit
like-
of a haunting feeling there. They should probably, I don't know, they should probably freshen it up a little bit. There is a bit of a stale, like it just feels stale after all of these years that they're still doing it the same way.
I feel like everybody's waiting, like maybe he'll come on stage. Maybe he'll come on.
You mean Steve?
Really,
Yeah,
well, that's what you think,
God.
that's right.
those years where everybody was wondering, remember when he was sick and you were wondering, maybe that's the big maybe that's the big show that they're gonna. Here's
Maybe-
the item. He's
Maybe
here.
Steve's coming back. Oh my
And
God.
it's now
But
turned into like
actually-
a zombie thing for me. It's like,
Well, and it doesn't allow these people to present in the way that makes them comfortable.
exactly.
These guys are presenting the way they presented when Steve was there. And they vary tucked in shirts and tucked out shirts. But otherwise, it's very much the same. But Steve isn't there.
I did notice the Apple style has gotten really, really firm there with the shirts are out. They're always out. They're usually a solid color. They usually do not overlap in color. Everyone's got their own color.
Yeah.
So I
purple
noticed that a little
scarves
more
this
this
year.
time. What's that, Rebecca?
No purple scarves this year. We were all disappointed.
No.
We didn't
Maybe
get
that was
any.
because it was 103 degrees in Cupertino.
It could be. I saw when the musicians got on stage.
I mean, actually,
that
I
they
think-
were sweating.
I think they underplayed the Apple TV updates, actually. I thought it was a bigger deal than they made it out to be. And it has the potential to actually change the environment and how people interact with it. And I thought they
so
wasted
too.
time on stuff that actually wasn't that important. Like that's potentially a game changer, and they didn't even really expand on it.
Okay,
they could have really.
How is it a game changer?
Because first of all, they're bringing that experience that we have with our phones and now with tablets and trying to do it with the TV environment, and that really hasn't been done like that before. And especially the whole apps, I can potentially see a scenario where we start syncing our phone, our iPads, and our computers actually to our TV, so that we never lose that experience at all. And the TV has sort of been this last frontier that has not really evolved like the rest of our technology. And
it certainly
and I
has been
think,
the Apple TV certainly has been Apple's hobby up to
I mean,
this point,
imagine
Right.
imagine you watching TV and you can get your notifications or everything that you get on your phone, and you don't even have to look down.
I don't want my notifications on my TV.
Sure, but that's the environment that I think they're creating, and that's really, really different.
And Rebecca, Steve Gillmor would agree with you.
Right. I wanted to know,
Really?
because I don't live there. I thought, are they trying to hide what they're doing with Apple TV because there's some stealthy thing going on that they want to release later? It was that way to me too. Like, why are they not? That would be the lead to me. A leather band.
Because the deal wasn't done with the TV networks. The TV, when they have all the big TV networks, then they can make the big announcement. Until then, we're updating the remote control. And we're making apps, but there's going to be a lot of failure around those apps in the beginning, just like there is with the watch apps, because these are different environments. And I feel different when I watch TV.
But doesn't the Apple TV replace the need for the networks in a sense, unless they are also apps on your platform? I mean, I feel like they have enough critical mass to make that statement and be a little bit more bold with where they want to go with it.
That would be interesting if I didn't find that I watch, very little TV, but there is always something that I can't get on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon. And it's like, God damn it, I'm going to cut the cord this month. Oops, no, I can't do it until Masters of Sex is over. It's like there's something that, oops, I can't do it until the U.S. Open is. And that's what keeps me month after month. I've been thinking about cutting the cord for a freaking year.
Mary, do you think Apple TV has gotten to the point now where regular Apple consumers who may not have had Apple TV at this point are ready to jump in, and is what's coming next? Why is this? Is it a big deal?
I don't know, because I don't have an Apple TV, so I can't really answer the question. I'd have to use it to be able to answer that. But I did want to say that, this has happened multiple years where Apple comes out and underplays what ends up being the most important thing.
Yeah.
And over time, that becomes apparent. And so, I think that, whatever they thought, they're in their own little bubble. Whatever they think is most important, I think often ends up not being that thing, and there's something else.
Let's take a look at the remote. There's two things that the remote's going to be doing now that it hasn't done before. One is it's got gyroscope capabilities, right? And the other is whatever that's called. What is it called?
Because I'm definitely going to use the remote in my airplane and need to know what 3D thing I'm doing.
Wait a second. Games. Come on. What is
games.
this about?
Yeah.
It's games.
Yeah.
It's like,
I felt like that was a little bit of a copycat.
The Wii has done that forever, and not only that, but everyone now has tendinitis, and they don't even use their Wii. So what the hell?
Okay, again, they're not innovating here, but they are iterating and they are catching up. And is that going to matter? Do they have? Does Apple have enough of the market share for this to be be
But it's like giving someone a participation
Oh my God,
trophy.
I can't hear everybody. Hang on, Rebecca.
I think they are actually innovating, and the presentation failed at showing how they innovated with Apple TV because they focused on the stuff that was copycat. And yes, they have to catch up on some of that, but they should have actually highlighted where the actual innovation is. And I think they failed at that. And I actually do believe this is kind of a big deal.
Okay. What was the other thing about Apple TV that was kind of interesting? Siri.
You know,
Siri search. You don't
Siri
care?
is not ever
Uh-oh.
going to be as good as they keep saying.
Wait
she
a second.
is.
Of course it's
She's
going to
never-
be. We
she's
know
not.
this because we see all these movies. Come on. This is theory by movie here. If it happens in Star Trek, if it happens in whatever our futuristic movies are, where we're talking to this general computer and they're
device.
interacting with us, we know it's going in that direction. So whether it's Siri or a Siri-like, we know we're going there.
Well, but I'm saying that Alexa is much better than Siri, and Google's voice dictation is also, voice response is also better than Siri. And
But
so
they
once,
don't win if they don't have the market share. And right now, I don't think Echo has the market share.
No, I don't think so either. And I think, yeah, they have to improve and they have to catch up. And they are in a position where they could leapfrog because it's kind of still nobody really owns that category yet. They have to improve if they're going to even be a player. So
I got the impression that they were starting to position this TV computer thing in the home to be this base station, this
I think that's the direction they want to go.
yeah, but then where was HomeKit? You know, if they want to do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
then
that was
why
good
didn't
point. Good point.
That's a good point.
then why didn't they do something with Internet of Things?
They weren't ready for that.
And then I have a question for Mary. And my question is
Okay.
this.
Oh wait, let me do this. Hang on. This is going to be
Gonna be
so
privacy.
exciting. Go.
Two screen.
Okay, so Mary, last week we talked about Echo, and you said it was listening, and you hated that because you thought it was surveillance. And this now,
I said that too.
okay, but now Apple TV will be doing that because it will also be on. If you can talk to it, it's on, and it has to listen
Right.
to you, right?
It's
So
not-
is Apple
Next.
also surveilling us?
So there's tons of devices that you can get that if you want to have stuff surveilling you. I mean, you can get
My kids do that.
you can get all kinds of stuff. You can just set up stuff on your phone and have all sorts of companies like surveilling what you do, and it's not a problem. I mean, there's tons of options if that's your goal.
No, that my point is, do we all have to realize that every one of these devices that we let into our house is surveilling us?
They
and
are.
that now, in addition to Amazon, Apple is listening to us.
So there's all
They
the
are.
people who say, "What do I have to hide? I'm just going to do everything," and
I'm
the
one
Robert
of those
Goebbels
people.
of the world, the data exhibitionists of the world, blah blah blah. All right, so whatever. Yes, you're a data exhibitionist too, and so great. But it's not. I think that a lot of people aren't in such privileged positions that they couldn't be hurt by one thing or another. I mean, it gets back to our old discussion, which is, I think everybody's doing something that somebody disapproves of. Now, whether or not that can hurt you is another question.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a privileged position as an employee somewhere, or you could get fired, or your insurance premium goes up and you don't know why. Oh, it's because your friends have bad credit on Facebook and they just swept your friends up and analyzed them, and your premium went up 10%. Do you know why? I mean, whatever. And it's like, and so now we're going to have listening in the home, and are they going to listen? And your friends come over and they're laughing a lot. Oh, that's bad. Let's raise those premiums on the homeowner's insurance.
Oh no, but
whatever.
laughing is good. It's good for your health.
Well,
So that
but
if you
what
hear
if
laughter, maybe they're going to
Yeah, but
lower
that's
your
your
rates.
interpretation. What if
let's-
their interpretation is you're drinking too much?
Absolutely.
And all of a
And-
sudden,
and
your
I am.
homeowner's insurance goes from $1,500 a year to $2,000,
Yeah.
and you don't know why. It just went up, right? I mean, the problem is not the specific surveillance. The problem is that people are making decisions, or programs, algorithms are making decisions about you, and we don't know why, and there's no regulation at all about any of this stuff.
And yet people are so happy saying we have updated, Apple TV to where we can talk to Siri and get our notifications on our TV, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, still, at this point,
why-
Siri's the Apple TV has to be on to work that way.
One
I
of the
would think.
reasons why I'm willing to go and try, get an iPhone, is because Apple has made such a strong commitment to not share data outside. And in fact, yesterday there was an article about the U.S. government saying, you're doing it all wrong, Apple. You need to stop that encryption because we can't read your users' email. And I'm willing to do an iPhone because, they're basically making a real commitment to privacy. And, if they keep that up and if all of our stuff is safe, I might consider doing a Siri-based, or Apple TV thing. But right now, I'm just not really willing to. I want to wait and see and, see how it plays out. But, it could become a real competitive advantage for them that when they listen to everything in your house and record all your stuff, that they're not sharing it with anyone and they're encrypting it. That could be cool. That could be a really good business decision.
Very quick question to Francine. Francine, I've noticed that you have not stood up the whole show. Does that mean that your watch is no longer telling you to stand up?
Oh, no, it means that 150 went by and my watch, which is imperfect, didn't tell me to stand at 150.
Okay.
It's very interesting because
I'm just checking.
No, a lot of things
It's
on
got
the
the
Apple
update.
Watch don't work as well. Maybe they will better when Watch 2 comes out. But
I know why.
Force Touch doesn't work all the time.
I know why, because it's an Hermes French band, and they had 15 minutes earlier a little strike. They're en grève, and they said nobody can get up and stand because we, the French people, believe that people should not stand on command and instead should have a union, and so we're on strike.
So that will be
that concludes the comedy section of this show.
Of the Hermes watch, although none of the others. If you don't want to be told what to do and you want to belong to a union, you buy the Hermes band.
Okay, we're like actually probably at the hour mark. So, Hallie,
Already?
yeah, I know we're having
not
so
yet.
much damn
can't
fun. It's
believe
already
it.
an hour. But
I
Hallie,
haven't even gotten to
I
the
would
iPhone
I would
yet.
like to know,
iPhone.
are you going to have a 12.9 inch iPad?
Boy, that I was waiting for the noun. Especially because my husband's not
It's
here.
called the
He's in Buenos
iPad
Aires.
Pro. I'm
Can
calling
you
it
hear
the
me?
big ass iPad.
Huh? I don't care, really.
Okay. Who needs the 12.9 inch iPad? Anyone?
No, dude, it's the most niche product in the world. If you don't draw, you don't need it. I'm telling you, it is an Etch-a-Sketch.
Okay, but there are some features on it that are pretty cool that I'm hoping we're going to see in, I guess, other.
You are married to Steve Gillmor, and it is showing.
Oh! Hang on. I happened to like the fact that on this, where would I write it down? There's this multitasking on the iPad, and there's this, you can put like two screens sort of side by side. I thought that was great. I think it's going to be great for productivity. I love using the iPad. So, yeah, okay. So I'm married to Steve Gillmor. He's a big Apple fan.
I tweeted about the $100 pencil. You don't know how weird that sounded. I I can buy a $100 pencil. I said, well, you know what, Apple, if you sell me a $100 pencil, I'll make you a $900 cupcake. Just order it here.
No, that's right.
Wow.
And
Why doesn't it just
$150
include it?
keyboard. Right.
Rebecca, what about the big ass iPad? What do you think?
For me personally, I don't think I need something like that. I don't even have a regular iPad.
What
I might
about the
just
market
even
in
try
general?
that. I think it's a niche market. I mean, it is going to. erode a little bit on the laptop space, but I think that's kind of a niche product.
Is this
You can
the Surface in
think your-
disguise?
A what?
Is this the Surface in disguise?
Yeah.
More or less.
Mary, what do you think?
So I actually think that there is a market for it. I can think of at least two cases. So I'm actually encouraging my dad to get it. So
Yeah,
he
I
has a
thought you were gonna
12-inch
say that.
MacBook Pro, and it's too complicated for him, and the tech support is killing me. And
Is it because of touch? Is that why you're pushing him to this? Is it the just touch?
No, it's because it's just a more simple environment, and then I want him to get this, so that he can type out his documents and his email. What he does mainly is documents, email, and photos, and then surfing the web. All that is totally doable there if I set up an automatic upload to a cloud thing for his photos.
What makes the laptop more complicated in that situation, though? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, because that's what I do, and I find that I can't do that efficiently on an iPad.
Okay.
Actually, you know
Hang
what?
Hang on. Let's hear Mary.
I think I do think that the touch thing would be easier for him because he could just move things around. One of the problems that he has is, even though he's been a computer user for, 15 years, or maybe 20 years, and he was a Windows user for the first 15, and then I got him over to Mac, which has been easier. But he has trouble, and he forgets that things are layered in, and you have multiple windows open, and he forgets that the browser has all these tabs, and he's got multiple email open and documents, and then all these other things, and like the little dots at the bottom. I don't know. It's definitely an issue. So I think it might be simpler for him.
I hope he doesn't listen to this.
What?
I hope he doesn't listen to this.
No, that was fine. I
I
get
actually
that.
told him this directly a couple days ago.
My dad has the same problem.
Look, it's just because he's been trying to schedule a time for me for 2 weeks to spend like 4 hours with him, telling him all the stuff I told him a month ago.
Nobody should ask their children to spend 4 hours with them. That's a mistake.
My parents
Rebecca,
went in
you
Europe
were
for
going to
3.5
say
months,
something.
and they have thousands of photos. And part of what he's trying to do is make slideshows and basically manipulate the photos. I think he could do that on the tablet, and that would work. And then just with a keyboard, and a tablet, he would be fine. And it just would be less involved. He gets very confused around the Wi-Fi, and around some of the kind of the system stuff that I just think the tablet would solve.
Rebecca, do you remember what you were going to say?
Yes, actually, I'm looking at my setup right now, and it's basically just a laptop sitting up on a stand with this keyboard synced to it. So I have this extra keyboard that's attached to my laptop that's unnecessary, and this is mostly how I work. So now I'm kind of reconsidering what I just said about the iPad Pro, because, wow, actually I could eliminate half of this stuff. I'm already syncing my keyboard. Why not, if I travel, just grab the screen and go? If it's got a built-in keyboard on the touch screen, I don't even need this when I travel. I just grab that thing, I go with it, and I've just eliminated, the need for an iPad and a laptop and like all this stuff. So
and it weighs less.
The more I think about it, plus it weighs less, and if you can take video or photos or whatever, like how people are doing with iPads now, it eliminates the need to sync it or transfer it onto your computer. It's already there.
You're gonna look so funny.
People do it already. They look
but
ridiculous.
not with 12.9-inch screens. They don't. You're gonna look like you're holding a blackboard up to your face.
But what about the Hermes cover? You could get an Hermes cover and double wrap it in that beautiful leather. It would be gorgeous.
Oh boy. Okay, what about phones? Because we gotta kill this show. Come on,
Hey,
ladies.
what about the Queen? No Queen. Let's hear it for the Queen.
Queen.
Wait, what's the deal with the
Queen, I
Queen?
love
I
the
saw you
Queen.
mention the Queen. What is the deal with the Queen?
The
Tell
Queen
us.
is 90 and she's still the Queen.
Victoria. She's
Oh, it's her birthday.
longest
Her birthday's in
reigning.
June.
She's a girl, a go-getter girl. She's like longest reigning monarch since I think completely in
Queen
English
Victoria.
monarchy.
She surpassed
her
Queen
birthday's in
Victoria.
April.
Huh?
She's 89. She's 89 and her birthday's in April. She's 90 next April 21st.
Yes, she's
I
incredible.
remember
And
as a
she
kid
took that,
being in
that
London.
Diana girl out. You watch how that was like. She was not in favor of that girl, and she made her life a living hell.
And a sorry bliss.
So
No, but I remember being a kid and being in London, and they had like her 60th or 50th birthday or something. Maybe it was 60th birthday, and basically there were parades and millions of people were on the street and flowers, petals flying everywhere and stuff. And she rides through in a chariot, right? And
In
it
a
was a warm day
chariot?
for April. Well,
Yes.
whatever that
in a
thing
chariot,
is.
maybe a
I
carriage.
mean, they had a horse-drawn
Come on, a
coach.
carriage.
A horse
Carriage, whatever.
She's doing the
right,
the Ben
okay.
Hur thing. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, but it was, it was one of those like, the British royalty whatever things. I don't know. Is it that big of a deal?
I think it's kind of great.
I think when a woman gets to 90 and is still working, that's
Yeah.
a big deal.
That's cool.
That is a
Yeah,
big
in that
deal.
sense. In
and
that
you know,
sense, I do
it's
like
not
it.
an easy life
You know
being
what I
so
love?
dowdy.
Last year, was it at the Oscars when she did that thing with James Bond?
Oh, that
and
was
they actually shot it
fabulous.
in Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
And then they had a stunt double, like dive out of the airplane with James Bond and show
That
up at
was
the
pretty much the
Oscars.
first time we realized the Queen had a sense of humor.
yes, she's supposed to
Yeah,
be very
totally.
funny, actually. And she was 25 when she got that gig. Can you
I think
imagine?
she's
You're-
delightful, and
you're
she's
got
got great hair.
She does have
She
good
has
hair.
great
just
hair.
good hair.
I think she's
And
delightful
the hats.
too, and I think she's doing a hell of a job.
I think
And
so
she's
too.
and she
Well,
ain't
what is
gonna
her
give
job?
her chair to Charles.
Nope.
I know.
No.
Poor Charles. He's
Poor Charles.
it's just
Oh
yeah.
well, that's the
Charles
way it
married
goes.
that-
The luck of the draw. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Anyway,
okay. So,
iPhone.
last thoughts here because we're running late.
iPhone.
iPhone.
I'm getting an iPhone.
Okay, refugees.
You're getting an
How about the
iPhone?
refugees?
I am.
Okay, Francine's getting an iPhone. Mary's getting an
Yes.
iPhone. Hallie, iPhone?
I am.
No, you're not getting an iPhone. Uh-oh. Hallie's got like time delay or something. Okay, Rebecca's getting
Yeah.
an iPhone.
I'm getting it for sure this time. It's about time. Well, my 4S doesn't work anymore. They've decided to send, I don't know.
It's not work. It's not.
It's just
yeah.
not
You need an
working, baby.
upgrade. You need an
They're-
upgrade, girl. Yeah.
I need an
I'm
upgrade, yeah.
getting an iPhone because I bought my phone on the new installment plan last year, which means that I can upgrade this year. So if I can, I will.
And
That-
didn't
that's
Apple
real.
announce something about the new way of? And
Yep,
does anyone?
$32 a year, and everyone's phone's on the installment plan, and it's unlocked, and
And you can
don't-
upgrade every year.
You can upgrade every year.
but it's because they used to give
$32 a
those
year?
deals.
Or $32 a month.
$32
a
a
month.
Sorry.
A
A
month.
month.
Like for $32 a year, man, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a month.
But that one's made of paper.
Okay.
But here's the thing:
What I
that's
don't
really the
understand-
way we should be buying things, because the iPhone is a depreciating asset. It's like a car. As soon as you drive the iPhone off the lot,
Yeah.
it has lost value, because you know there will be another one next year.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you should not be buying your iPhone any more than you should be buying your car.
And
And
you're
by the
gonna
way,
have-
I don't buy my computers either. I've always, all this fast changing, depreciating shit, I lease it.
And then we're going to have phone envy, right? Everyone gets the new upgrade and it's like,
no.
oh, you've got the new one.
No,
Okay, so
that's
here's
in your
my
hand.
biggest decision. Let me tell you the biggest decision I have. So last week when you mentioned that it would be coming out in rose gold, I was like, okay, cool. I like rose gold. But then I looked on the site yesterday and I was like, it's fucking pink. I do not want pink. It is not rose gold.
Yeah.
Rose gold is, here is my ring with, this is like,
They
can you
call
see
it
this?
rose gold.
Okay, this
I
one
know.
is this one is rose gold.
It's
That's
like
rose
gold with
See
a
it?
rosy haze
And-
to it,
yeah,
but
it's
it's
not
pretty
pink.
pink.
Rose gold is not pink,
I
and
know.
the whole freaking thing is pink. And I'm just like, I don't think the pink is going to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, pink is for girls.
I hate, yeah, for girls, not women. We're women,
Ooh.
little girls. They do
No,
pink.
but did you
That's
see
it.
in their video, a man had it, and he was a very fashionable man putting it in his pocket, and I think they played that video like that on purpose to show.
It can be like a little pocket square.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Get it together, Apple. The ladies
Live
don't like the
photos.
pink. What can I say? All right, we've got to go. You guys are just
Get
too
outta
long, man. All right. We've had a lot of swearing on the show. That was good.
You can depend on me.
Yes, I can. All right. Hallie's got her shades back on. So let me do our thank yous. Thank you to Ustream. We use Ustream to stream live and record G3 as well as the Gillmor Gang. Gillmor Gang will be recording tomorrow, Friday, September 11th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. Tune in. And tune into the chat room. Thank you so much. We had a chat room today. It was absolutely extraordinary. Thank you for being there. The chat room grows slowly, but I promise you, over years of the Gillmor Gang really honing this community and the chat, I promise you it's worthwhile. So hang in there, hang in there. Thank you for doing that and being there. Also, thank you to New Tech and their TriCaster. We love our TriCaster. It works. It's great. It's our whole show, and you're our whole show. Thank you, Rebecca Woodcock, Hallie Sue Tucker, Francine Hardaway, and Mary Hodder. Thank you so much for being here. And I wanted to say happy anniversary this week. It was my 24th wedding anniversary with Mr. Steve Gillmor. Thank you. I was going to look for a picture, but I couldn't find one. So I have to. I'll bring it next time. Okay, I promise
Okay.
I'm going to find a picture.
That beautiful wedding photo on your wall.
I'd love to
I
see
didn't
a
even
wedding
post or
photo.
anything. I don't know. I had a weird week. My daughter at work fractured her hand, and so there was a lot of finding doctors and everything. So get well, Naomi Gillmor. Always, it's in the immortal words of Gilda Radner. It's always something.
Yes.
All right, ladies, let's get our logo ready, and until next week, we'll say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oi, you guys.